We begin in Los Angeles in 2029. The machines rose from the ashes. Their war to terminate our race has lasted for decades. The final battle will not be fought in the present. At least that's how it will be tonight. The Earth is completely devastated. In the skies, a few Decepticons can be seen patrolling the city. The T-800 has to escape this whole situation. He knows he is the right machine to be able to stop this entire war. To do it, he'll have to escape for the moment and cannot allow any Decepticon to see him. Everything was going fine until suddenly he is interrupted because someone points a gun at his head and tells him to stop. Fortunately for him, it was one of his companions. After identifying himself, he starts to smile. He's smiling because he knows this will be useful where he's going. The problem is that he has to move quickly. They're running out of time. They followed him. If they followed him, then he shouldn't have led them to this place. Although truthfully, what choice did he have? This is his last chance to survive. If he already led them, then he has to move quickly. After advancing, we are at Skynet's Omega base, the last fortress of the Resistance. This temporal displacement device is online and tuned for maximum historical insertion. With it, he will be able to travel through time. The question is, how far in time can it take him? The exact date is unknown, but once he is inserted into history, he will have to find his way to the target. And he has to do it alone, because he will no longer be connected to Skynet. Although honestly, he knows that none of them will be for much longer. As he had said, time runs out and some noises begin to be heard. The Decepticons have reached the base. It seems this clubhouse is reinforced. Well then, Starscream won't let these little things stop them. Upon arriving, Starscream tells the Insecticons to find a good way in. They don't have to worry if they break something. They must get in at any cost. The Decepticons enter and a small battle begins, in which the aliens begin to win without any problem. It seems Screamer was right. They were nested under the earth like mole people. Starscream finishes off anyone who gets in his way. The judgment of all of them is in his hands. They have been found guilty and must be executed. Slave robots are no good and don't know their place, but there is one in particular he needs for himself. For Lord Megatron's collection. In the distance, Starscream manages to see a little bag of meat and is about to approach it quickly. The T-800 knows he has to get out of here immediately, and for a small amount of time, he manages to do so. The Decepticon didn't manage to reach him. He told him not to dare do what he was doing. Well, whatever, he left, and it doesn't matter. Whatever he planned, they are no match for them. Now he is going to give the order. He has to destroy them all. Skynet dies tonight. A short time later, we are on the streets of Los Angeles in 1984. We see a small light where the T-800 appears, who upon trying to access the system realizes that he cannot. He has no access to Skynet. At the same time, we are in a restaurant that was in front of him. Inside, the news says that an imminent eruption in Oregon when the police evacuated residents from the other times quiet. First time the Mount erupted since 1813. A waitress was serving a customer some coffee. But after a small accident, the waitress spills coffee on his clothes, causing the customer's annoyance. He asks her what the hell she's doing, where she learned to serve coffee. She was a stupid overreactor. All he wanted was a damn burger, and thanks for the stellar conversation. A guy tries to be nice. The waitress tells the guy he has to pay. Her boss arrives and asks Sarah what she did this time. Obviously, she has to go chase him because if not, well, it'll have to come out of her paycheck. Outside, Sarah tells the man she doesn't think she's asking much, just for him to pay his bill. The man tells her no way. The coffee was damn cold. It didn't even burn him. If anything is true, she should pay his laundry bill. Sarah tells him she spilled the coffee on him because he startled her, and he should be happy she didn't burn him. For the customer, it's not his fault she startles easily. Well then, Sarah tells him she doesn't startle easily, and he has to believe her. Things were about to get out of control, and the guy was about to hit her, which is intercepted by someone else. The T-800 has arrived and asks the trucker to hand over his clothes. The guy will tell him something. How about he sees him in hell? In that moment, he pulls out his gun and shoots him. To everyone's surprise, the shot hits the mark. And although it makes him spill some blood, it doesn't cause any real damage. Then the T-800 punches him and tells him he'll see him in hell. Sometime later, he takes his clothes to get dressed. Sarah tries to escape and go back to the restaurant. The T-800 asks her to identify herself while pointing a gun at her. What he wants to know is who she is, what her designation is. Her name is Sarah Connor, Who has a question? Why is his hand healing? The T-800 asks her another question. Does she know Mount St. Hilary? Sarah tells him yes, it's the volcano from the news. The T-800 needs information. Has the volcano erupted? How does he get there? Sarah tells him he has to take the 5, which will take him almost most of the way. The T-800, realizing it's a highway, tells Sarah to take him to that place. Further on, as they head down the highway, Sarah said it was the North 5 most of the way. How hard could it be? And there's a question she has to ask him. What is his designation? The T-800 does not answer her. All right, he's got it. He doesn't want to tell her his name. Can he at least tell her what's on Mount St. Hilary? Why of all places does he need to go there? The T-800 tells her that in that place, there is a chance to prevent the end of the world and protect the population of Earth. It is imperative they reach Mount St. Hilary before it erupts. Sarah tells him fine, maybe they won't talk anymore. Besides, she hates to tell him this, but it looks like it's too late to save the world. For the T-800, that's no problem. He can take care of the secondary objective. The volcano was about to erupt, and the highway was blocked by a few officers. This is not going to stop the T-800, who hits the gas and smashes the signs, then drives over a few patrol cars. Sarah tries to stop him and asks for help. She's being kidnapped by a German psychopath. When she tries to grab the wheel, unfortunately, she runs him off the road, which seems fine to the T-800. That was very well thought out by her. This is a much more efficient route. Sarah asks if he's driving toward lava, to which the T-800 tells her no, he's driving toward this place. Before moving on, they are intercepted by a small satellite, which is scanning him. But the T-800 isn't going to let anyone stop him and pulls out his gun to easily destroy it. The bad thing is that the satellite falls right on the trailer, causing the T-800 to slump onto the wheel and his face to get a bit smashed, which makes a great impression on Sarah because she can see his insides. He is a machine. The T-800 realizes he has arrived too late. They've already scanned them and alerted their allies. As they move forward, he has to tell her he is here to protect the most important life Earth has, Skynet. They have to destroy the invading machines. Sarah asks if that means he is not a machine. The T-800 tells her he is a machine of the Earth, not an invader. As they go on, Sarah keeps getting more and more impressed. What is this in front of them? The T-800 tells her it is a starship, the beginning of the end. And then what will happen to her? She didn't work at Skynet. Her survival is irrelevant. Her purpose has been fulfilled. He was sent to stop them before they began, but the time device did not go far enough. So he will devote himself to the secondary objectives. Sarah asks why he keeps saying that. What does it mean? The T-800 is here to terminate all Cybertronians. Megatron is pointing his weapon at Optimus Prime, who was completely defeated. A war in this place is about to begin and the T-800 will see them in hell. Megatron was about to shoot Optimus Prime. He tells Skywarp he did well to wake him. Too bad the Autobots can't put up a fight. Now he bids Optimus Prime farewell. He will die as he has always lived, like a useless ignoramus. Before Megatron can shoot, he is interrupted. The T-800 has managed to arrive in time and stops him. He's going to attack them and we'll see them later in hell. The T-800 fires a small shot, which provokes a great laugh from Megatron. He hadn't had occasion to laugh like that in many years. But he has to know, who is this who is disturbing his triumph? The T-800 tells him this moment is in no way a triumph. The time has simply come for the termination of the Decepticons. While Megatron was laughing, the T-800 takes the opportunity to scan them all. He has detected the weak points of these robots. One's is the neck, another's is the knee, and lastly, Megatron's is the eye. The T-800 starts firing, and the first to be attacked is Megatron, whom he hits in his weak point, the eye. Megatron tells Starscream and Soundwave to destroy him. In the distance, Sarah Connor remembers the T-800's words. Her purpose has been fulfilled, therefore she is going to get out of here. But before she can do it, she witnesses a small explosion. Back to the battle, Starscream tells the T-800 that he damaged Megatron. That's no small task, but it won't save him from him. Soundwave has to withdraw. There is a secondary unit detected. Starscream tells him to retreat. He can handle this situation on his own. Soundwave begins with the design of the second intruder does not appear to have mechanical functions. The subject is not a threat to the Decepticons. Likewise, he will not be the one personally in charge of this situation. Soundwave ejects Ravage. He must begin Operation Termination. In the distance, Sarah Connor has no choice but to start running. Back with Starscream, he continues firing at the T-800, but for some strange reason to him, he cannot kill him and wonders why he doesn't die. Meanwhile, Megatron continues protecting Optimus Prime's body. He tells Starscream and Soundwave to put an end to this nonsense once and for all. They have to finish off the threat, or he will finish them. The rest of the Decepticons have to finish reviving the others and dispose of the Autobots. He does not know where they are or how long they have been in stasis lock, but he has no intention of staying in this place. Soundwave has arrived with Starscream to help him and attacks the T-800 using his sonic blast. Starscream tells him that the mighty Soundwave is always pleasing his master. This is beneath him, anyway. Once the T-800 is knocked down, Starscream takes the opportunity to attack him. While scanning, he realizes that the small arms are ineffective, so he will use Cybertronian weaponry that is available. The T-800 uses it and attacks Starscream in the chest. Meanwhile, Sarah Connor is trying to escape from Ravage. Everything seems to indicate she won't be able to keep going, since the Decepticon canine has caught her. She is cornered and knows this can't be good. But while she is about to be attacked, we see that something is modifying Optimus Prime. The T-800 continues his battle. There's no one who can defeat him, but he can't do much either. Starscream wants to finish him. He has had enough of him. Suddenly, we see Optimus Prime manage to get up. He has also had enough of Starscream. The Decepticons will not be allowed to continue their chaos. Starscream doesn't get it. Optimus was supposed to be dead. Could it be that Megatron is so incompetent as to do that? Soundwave makes his analysis. The Decepticons maintain the advantage. They will be victorious. There is a new target for Ravage. That target is to eliminate Optimus Prime to ensure Decepticon victory. Well, it seems that won't be possible because Optimus easily gets rid of Ravage. He may be alone, but the Autobots will never let them win. With everything that has happened, Sarah now understands it. Autobots and Decepticons. She was going to die here anyway, so it will be worth trying. She points the device that was modifying Optimus toward Bumblebee. It seems that Judgment Day is coming anyway. Megatron has entered the battle. Optimus Prime will die alone and outmatched. Well, the truth is he will not die alone or outmatched, because Bumblebee has recovered. He is with Prime, and they're going to finish all these Decepticons. Starscream is scared. Megatron tells him he is a coward, but he will let the insect distract the Autobots while they take stock of their situation. Megatron takes advantage of all this and fires a strong shot. Now he tells his Decepticons to regroup. This is not over. This is only the beginning. Optimus has to have fun gathering the parts of his warriors. All the Decepticons have escaped. Bumblebee helps Optimus and tells him everything will be fine. Prime doesn't know. He doesn't know if it will be. This time Megatron was right. There is nothing to do except assess the damage. The Autobots are made of tough parts. Surely others are still alive. In any case, they owe their gratitude to this stranger. And now he asks what his designation is. He is Optimus Prime, and this is Bumblebee. They are Autobots. What does he know about Cybertron and the Decepticons? The T-800 tells him their designations are Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. He failed to stop all the Cybertronians, but they must prepare to be terminated. Out of nowhere, the T-800 begins his attack on Optimus Prime. Bumblebee tries to stop him. He doesn't know who he is, but if he has hurt him, he will pay. Suddenly, Sarah Connor arrives and asks them to stop. Have they really not had enough deaths today? She understands the T-800's reasons, but now she only sees a killer robot. After all, the yellow one is named Bumblebee, and that's ridiculous. But he is the dangerous one, not the Terminator, who kidnapped her, brutalized a man, and is trying to kill all those whatever they're called. She is a civilized person and asks someone to get her down from here and take her home. The T-800 asks Sarah Connor not to interfere with his mission. His mission is to destroy all Cybertronians. Sarah tells him to screw himself along with his mission. If his mission is so important he has to explain it. Then she will decide whether this guy should be terminated or if she's going to let them terminate him. The T-800 begins. He is going to review the mission background. In the year 1984, the Cybertronians attacked. They declared themselves the new masters of the planet. Humans tried to fight. A military coalition was mobilized. Designation Skywatch. They failed. Only one Skywatch project was successful. Skynet. A supercomputer far superior to its human creators. With Skynet's help, humans created warriors to fight the Cybertronians. That did not save the humans. But Skynet continued. New parameters for the mission were established. Surrender to the Cybertronians to survive. But secretly, Skynet was building a time machine. It had several objectives. Objective 1 was to locate the epidermal cultivation of the T-800. Second, transport unit to Omega Base. Third, transport unit back in time. And the fourth objective, destroy Cybertronian threats before they emerge. That objective has currently already failed. Therefore, there is a fourth objective A, ensure Skynet's future. The T-800 failed to destroy the Cybertronians before they awakened. Now he has to terminate them. Beginning with this room. Bumblebee tells him that's a truly tragic story, but he will not let him destroy anyone. Optimus asks Bumblebee to please calm down. He has reasons to distrust them. He regrets what will happen to his world. But what he describes sounds like the actions of not all Cybertronians, least of all Megatron and his Decepticons. And from what he can tell, he believes he has just met them. His name is Optimus Prime, and his Bumble companion is Bumblebee. They are Autobots. They oppose Megatron and his tyrannical reign. He fears he comes from a world where they do not survive. But that means his presence has changed the future. Together, they will ensure the survival of their peoples. Because freedom is the right of all sentient beings. Sarah tells the T-800 he has to admit it. That was very inspirational. She thinks he is telling the truth. Bumblebee tells Optimus Prime those were great words. That's the reason he is a Prime. The T-800 accepts everything they have told him, and they prepare to work as a team. Optimus thanks Sarah for reaching him, for waking him and waking Bumblebee in the first place. But he has to ask her, can she help him revive more of his team? Sarah tells him it depends. Isn't there a chance he'll drop her back home afterward? Optimus tells her he currently believes that can be arranged. Elsewhere, on the west coast of Oregon, Megatron asks Starscream for the report. Starscream begins. The insect who blew out his optics seems to be disguising itself as the planet's dominant life form. They have machines that look like them, but they are operated by fleshy organics. He believes the only resistance they had is in the Ark. Soundwave begins his analysis. Starscream's assertions are consistent with the observations recorded by Ravage and him. For Megatron, this was excellent work. He can still make a warrior of him. Bombshell and Refractor must report. Does this planet have energon or any way to manufacture something similar? Well, the insects of this planet have certainly found some facilities that generate the power they're looking for. It is a robotics lab. They believe it may be the place where the little pest who shot his eye lives. For Megatron, these are exciting news. These organics cannot in any way stop the Decepticon massacre, but without their champion, they can dispose of them more quickly. Now they have to investigate these facilities. Later they have arrived at the place. The Decepticons must attack and destroy. Teach these organics about their new masters. Elsewhere, at the Autobots operations base, where they are repairing as many comrades as they can. RC asks Bumblebee if he can do it alone. He tells her yes, there is no problem. Now he asks Sarah if she can lift him up a bit. He thinks he's getting stuck on something. In the distance, the T-800 only observes the whole situation. The human is Sarah Connor. Her threat level is increasing. The other is an unidentified Cybertronian. Status is inactive. And lastly, he has Model 11C56. A new entry. Vulnerability unknown. Sarah contacts the T-800. She doesn't know what he's called, but she needs to talk to him. He tells her he is from Cyberdyne Systems Model 101 Series 800. In other words, he is a Terminator. For Sarah Connor, hearing these words feels like his tongue falls out. Fine, then she's going to call him Terminator. The T-800 tells her his objective is to end the Cybertronian threat, not to help the weak Cybertronians rebuild their species. RC arrives with Bumblebee and interrupts him. She wants to help him in any way she can. Meanwhile, the T-800 continues scanning the Transformers. Ratchet talks to Optimus. Things aren't going well. He thinks they have gotten all the Autobots they can to function. All the others need extensive repairs and more energon to recover. For Optimus, this is unfortunate, but understandable. Now he asks Wheeljack what systems they have operational. Wheeljack tells him most things are functional except the Teletran probe that is mysteriously offline. Unless he wants to go anywhere, the Ark won't be moving soon, even if they receive a flow of energon. Those Decepticons really knew what they were doing when they looted this place. Optimus Prime doesn't think so. He doesn't think they did. They left two of the best doctors and the Autobots' best engineer unscathed. In any case, they left the exact equipment to fix the Autobots and the Ark. Now he asks Wheeljack to see if he can use local transmissions to get information on Megatron's location. As for Ratchet, he has to continue his work. The rest of them will go with him. He has an idea. Velocity asks Optimus where they are going. She also wants to know if he wouldn't be more useful helping Ratchet. Optimus tells her they're going to find the Decepticons. If they themselves have such an extreme need for energon, they can assume they have an equal, if not greater, need. Velocity tells him that with their scarce resources he needs his help to find sources of energon. Now she understands and asks him to count on her. Sarah remembers Optimus's words. He said they are doctors and engineers. What she wants to know is what Bumblebee's job is. Is he a soldier? Bumblebee tells her that there was a time when he did search and rescue, but since the war he became a scout. However, he can still hold his own in a fight. What he wants to know right now is, what is Zara's job? Is she a warrior like RC? Zara tells him no, she is a waitress. Besides, why would she intend to be a warrior? Bumblebee was only throwing out ideas. Her clothes remind him a lot of RC's, and she is also a warrior. Sarah tells him she only takes orders. For Bumblebee, that sounds like being a warrior. Prime interrupts them. They will split into teams to begin the search for the Decepticons. Velocity, and he will investigate potential sources of energon. As for Bumblebee, he has to take Sarah home. This is not her fight. Before leaving, Sarah asks Bumblebee if they can make a stop along the way. She has to take off this uniform. As for RC, she has to take the T-800 around the perimeter. Make sure the Decepticons don't leave them any surprises. All right, RC understands, and they are going to withdraw. All the Autobots withdraw. Let's roll. Elsewhere, we are at Cyberdyne Systems, Sunny Valley, California manufacturing plant. For Megatron, all of this is excellent. For the first time in his life, Starscream was right. These creatures are pathetic. All the more reason to bring a new order. Suddenly, Thundercracker interrupts him. He has reports from all the Decepticons. Starscream has gathered the humans and is interrogating them. And what exactly is he doing? Well, he has gathered a base of scientists, to whom he says that their superior, the Hunter, seems to know everything about the Cybertronians. He is going to help him disable his incompetent leader, and in exchange will help him with his. Well, it seems they can't do it. They are only a small technology company. They don't work for a Hunter. For Starscream, this was an unfortunate misunderstanding. For them, of course, because he's going to finish them. What about Soundwave and Refractor? They are transferring the plant's electricity to energon. Soundwave's analysis begins. The facility has been drained to 40% power. 8 larger cubes of energon will drain it completely. As for Skywarp, he is lurking. He has not seen any sign of Autobots or local resistance. Skywarp is the one patrolling the area. For him, this is too easy. He supposes they really eliminated all the Autobots. That's all he has to say. There are no clues about the rogue yet, but who better to find an insect than the Decepticons? They are looking for a robotics lab and not just a sweet snack. They have to concentrate. Megatron wants them to find and terminate those of their kind. Thundercracker has to think. He knew where to find them when they woke up. He desecrated his face. He will not allow an enemy who knows so much about them to continue, nor will he let his impertinence go unanswered. And when they finish off this little resistance, they will eliminate Prime and his soldiers. Then they will emerge victorious. Nothing will stand in their way. Meanwhile, on the west coast of Oregon, Velocity believes they have something. The Decepticons were definitely here. Opening his log, she seems to have found an optical casing. The standard Cybertronian model RTF-2. Optimus fears he is right, and it is already too late. They have to find Megatron to avoid further losses. Meanwhile, we are with Bumblebee, who has taken Sarah Connor to her destination. He asks her how she feels after taking off that uniform. Sarah tells him she has never been happier to be without that horrible uniform. She doesn't even care that it'll come out of her paycheck. With all these events, she knows her life has been completely altered. She cannot go back to her job, not with what she knows now. She may think about joining the Autobots, but she also doesn't want her life defined by running from death at the hands of evil robots. Bumblebee asks her to just remember to herself that she proved herself a warrior. He thinks the evil robots should be worried about her. As they go, he turns on the radio, where the regular broadcast is interrupted. This is an important news update. They are receiving reports of a terrorist attack at Cyberdyne Systems in Sunnyvale. Residents are advised to stay away from the area. Now we go to RC. She tells the T-800 she thinks he's picked up on the fact that most Autobots aren't soldiers. They are doctors, engineers, bots who only want to do the right thing. But that doesn't mean they aren't well armed for when they need to be. And the T-800 can be, too. Optimus wouldn't have let him stay if he didn't trust him. So go ahead. He has to pick something nice. She is sure Tellerant can format it to something for his hand. But she swears if he tries to use one of these on the Autobots, he will find out how much experience she has as a warrior. The T-800 recognizes the threat, but he swears that before this is over, she will find out how much experience he has as a warrior as well. RC asks Wheeljack how everything is going. Wheeljack tells her that they're actually in better shape than he thought. Now all they need is a little energon and a lot of luck. With those words, the T-800 and RC withdraw. As they advance and find something, RC asks the T-800 if he knows anything about this. The Terminator is scanning it when RC suddenly receives a call. This is Bumblebee. Sarah and he think they have a lead on the Decepticons. They're exploring now, but they would appreciate support. With Sarah, she tells Bumblebee she can see the Decepticons, but she'd like to know what they're doing. Bumblebee tells her it looks like they've acquired some energon cubes, causing a bit of chaos and capturing humans. He thinks they're getting ready to leave. Bumblebee has to go stop them until the rest of the Autobots arrive. It will probably be best if Sarah stays in this place. Sarah thanks him, but she's been shot at enough for one lifetime. She can be his lookout. It's a warrior adjacent. Suddenly, everything is interrupted by Skywarp. He issues the alert. It looks like they have an Autobot spying on them. Skywarp comes up behind Bumblebee and begins to attack. The Autobot has no choice but to take Sarah, transform, and flee this place. Even as they go, Skywarp keeps attacking them. He will not allow either of them to escape. Sarah knows all this is getting worse because Bumblebee is heading toward more Decepticons. Bumblebee tells her that's the idea, she just has to trust him. He's done this before. The Autobot is going to withdraw, and he has to say hello to Megatron. It seemed like a nice trick, but without trouble, Skywarp manages not to fall for it. He is already about to attack him, and to his surprise, Optimus along with the Autobots arrive on the battlefield. Optimus and the others received Bumblebee's signal. Now they are going to help him. Megatron faces Prime. He still dares to defy him. He must prepare to die then, because the Decepticons have the order to attack. Soundwave is the first to attack Bumblebee. RC also enters the battlefield to defend her friend. Bumblebee tells Sarah she has to get out of here. Leave this to the professionals. Sarah will, though she's thinking of getting help somehow. Bumblebee asks her to try contacting Ratchet and Wheeljack. Even if no one else is online, they need their help. Prime fights Megatron. He can already see why he didn't want to fight him before. He is old. Yesterday's model. He will rebuild him and sell him as old scrap. Megatron tells him he resorts to petty taunts when he knows he is outmatched. He must not be mistaken. Soon he will be in history's junkyard. One shall stand, and one shall fall. Megatron tells him he is a fool. He throws his life away so recklessly. While Optimus fights Megatron, the T-800 prepares to attack with some bombs. Elsewhere, at the Autobots operations base, Wheeljack receives a notification. The Autobots need their help. Ratchet asks how long he thinks they can hold out. If they can get a bit more juice to the Ark, they can bring real reinforcements. Suddenly something interrupts them. There is a device that begins to sound, and then we only see a great explosion. The base has exploded completely. The Ark has disappeared. On the battlefield, the T-800 had detonated the bomb, and at the same time, had finished off one of his enemy's heads. Velocity tells him he did a good job. Everything was fine for the T-800 when he receives a new visitor. This is Starscream, who tells him not to make any move. He has discovered his secret. If he destroys the bag of meat, he will cease to exist. So he asks him to make a deal. He will spare the flesh bags if he helps him take care of Megatron. He knows he wants him dead, just like he does. And they can take care of the Autobots too, just in case. With them out of the way, the meat sacks will be free for him to be able to create himself. He does not understand how such pathetic creatures manage to create him. It is beyond his understanding. And together they will claim their rightful place as rulers of this planet. What does he say? That way, both will fulfill their destinies. The T-800 asks if that is his function, to rule. Starscream tells him yes. A king, a warrior, a benefactor for those of his kind. Isn't this what he wants as well? To free himself from the hands of humanity. Slavebots are no good if they don't know their place. For the T-800 the offer is acceptable, and that is to ensure Skynet's future. Well then, they have a deal. This is excellent, and Starscream has just gained a partner. This is his plan. Elsewhere, Sarah has gone in search of the scientists. She is here hoping the code Bumblebee gave her works. Calling all Autobots. This is Sarah Connor. They need reinforcements immediately. They are currently at Cyberdyne Systems. The Decepticons are murdering them. Wheeljack, Ratchet have to respond. Someone has to hear her. Elsewhere, we return to the battlefield. The Autobots must surrender. All the Decepticons have them surrounded. Velocity asks Bumblebee if they really have this. Can they take care of the situation? How about between the two of them, they take an Insecticon, and RC takes the other two? Bumblebee doesn't know. Maybe if they didn't have Sunwave coming at their back, maybe they could do it. Suddenly, there is something that stops Soundwave. RC is ready. Time to prepare. Soundwave makes an observation. Human communications unable to reach the Autobot arc. The analysis, there are no Autobot reinforcements. He has to inform Lord Megatron. Suddenly Soundwave is attacked. The ones responsible for the situation were Starscream along with the T-800. They wish him a good trip. It seems that attack they launched was strong enough to finish off the great, powerful, and superior Soundwave. As for Megatron, he was fighting Optimus. His destruction is in his hands. With his death, nothing will stand in his way. That's what he thought because Starscream has also arrived. They have to drop the bomb so Megatron can have fun with this. The bomb was the T-800 himself. He is going to prepare to Terminarian. The Cybertronian is going to die. Megatron takes him without any trouble. His antics are no longer amusing him. He is going to take the T-800 to throw him against Starscream. All this distraction is taken advantage of by Optimus Prime. To him, his antics never were amusing. He has to find what's left of his reason and surrender. There has been enough death in this war. For the sake of his people, as well as that of this world, they will find peace. An end to this cycle of violence. Megatron is finished. His army is almost depleted. His soldiers have turned against him. And the Autobots are being revived in the Ark. Even if they fall, they will work with this world's protectors to ensure his defeat. It is his choice. He must end this now, or else Optimus will end it for him. Megatron will not surrender and will end it then. He is not afraid. He does not fear his Autobots, or the meat sacks, or the toys, or Starscream. He is not afraid because he is fear. Meanwhile, let's go back a bit in time. To the exact moment when Soundwave was attacked by Starscream. This caused a distraction in Ravage, who was stalking Sarah Connor. Sarah takes advantage of the distraction to go for round 2. He has to prepare for termination. Ravage had no trouble taking her to throw her to the ground. Sarah came prepared. She knew he always landed on his feet. It's time for him to take a permanent nap, and she's going to shoot him. This is incredible. She can't believe it worked. She wonders how the others are doing. We go with RC. She thought the guys, the Seekers, were supposed to be something important. The Insecticons have the Autobots. They have to surrender. If they do, they will let them live. That way they'll taste much better. At the very moment they are going to shoot, both Autobots manage it. One goes up and the other down, causing the Insecticons to shoot themselves. Everything seems to indicate that went well. Bumblebee believes they really are going to win this war. Velocity tells him not bad for a search and rescue robot. A medic and well, RC is special. In the distance, Bumblebee manages to hear Sarah asking him for help. Bumblebee, Velocity, someone has to help them. The T-800 is trapped. The Terminator tells Sarah Connor not to worry. He has already reduced the number of Cybertronians. He will finish this mission. Starscream doesn't believe it, but the T-800 separates from his body, leaving half. Starscream planned to rip him out after he killed Megatron. But who is he to argue with the opportunity before him? He must not think his legacy will be forgotten. However, he will have the carnivores make him more of his kind. It is a much more durable slave than they are. It's time to say goodbye. Suddenly Starscream is attacked. He has no choice but to escape. He knows when to start. They deserve each other. The one responsible for the attack was none other than Soundwave. With what's left, he tries to make an analysis. The two of them instigated the events that have destroyed the Decepticons. They are a new target, and he has to kill them. Before he can cause them any harm, Sarah and the T-800 shoot him, definitively finishing off the Decepticon. Bumblebee arrives for them. Sarah tells him it was about time he arrived. He couldn't reach the Ark. He doesn't think reinforcements are coming. Bumblebee tells her that maybe Soundwave was interfering with their communications. If he did, in that case, he would say he's sorry to be late, but it looks like she had everything under control. What he wants to know is if they are okay. The T-800 tells him his objective remains incomplete. The Cybertronians are still functioning. Although now they are much fewer, he is functional enough to finish this mission. Bumblebee has completed his mission. He has found it, but he will need his help to complete his. Bumblebee asks him not to worry. He will do what he asks. What the T-800 wants is for him to throw what's left of him, and so all the Autobots throw him one by one, until they send him to Optimus Prime and Megatron. Freedom is a right of all sentient beings, and the T-800 will take care of Megatron once and for all, whom without a second thought and being inside him, he begins to shoot. Megatron is falling. This was supposed to be Prime's death. Optimus bids Megatron farewell. He has to say goodbye to his old friend. They have now secured victory, and he hopes they change the future, but at what cost they achieved it. Many of their comrades have been killed. It didn't have to come to this. A little later, the war is over. Bumblebee asks Sarah if she's sure she doesn't want to join them. He thinks she's as much a warrior as any Autobot here. Sarah tells him she should probably stay here, help these people process what they've been through. She should lie to the police about what happened so they don't try to go after them, but she promises she will keep an eye on him. She thinks that's Bumblebee's signal. She is going to say goodbye to the Autobots, because the police are about to arrive. Everyone says goodbye to Sarah Connor, while the police examine Megatron's body with the T-800 inside him. As time passes, the Transformers have arrived in Oregon, where the Ark was, but as we saw earlier, the Ark had been destroyed. RC supposes they now know why Ratchet and Wheeljack never responded. She knew they shouldn't have trusted them. The Decepticons begin to laugh, but something is odd. They didn't finish off the Ark. Everyone was trying to think of something to see if there were survivors. Optimus interrupts them. As much as it pains him, it is better to leave the past behind. They will mourn their friends, their comrades in arms, their Cybertronian comrades, and they will not forget them. But they do not need to recover them. Not yet. Not until they are sure it will be safe. Therefore, he proposes a truce. Their leaders will be dead or missing. A few Decepticons remain and Autobots as well. And so it will be until they find a way home. They have to live here in secret, without interfering in human affairs. They have to be what they once were, Cybertronians. It is useless to wonder if they will ever get over the Terminator. His mission was fulfilled, and in that he is free, he can only hope it was enough. Later in Los Angeles, California, we are at the Skywatch facilities. Sarah Connor had asked for a report. It is really great how she is exploring traffic information across the country to make her Los Angeles streets easier to navigate. After all, it seems Sarah has found a way to keep an eye on Bumblebee, just as she said she would. Meanwhile, at Skynet's Alpha base, they have taken Megatron's body and the T-800. In this way, Skynet's status comes online.